This is Jim Szymanski, Director of Public Affairs for the Washington Retail Association, and our interview guest today is Lowell Gordon, who is the past board chair of the Retail Association. He's also served as Small Business Committee Chair as well, and remains on the board today. Lowell, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Jim. Great to be here.
You own the creative office in downtown Olympia, where we are right now, which outfits various businesses with office furniture, accessories, and supplies. And I'd like to know, start off, when you acquired the business and how many people work here?
Well, my wife and I acquired the business in September of 1995, just a few 20 years ago. And currently we employ 21 full-time employees.
And how long have you been on the board of the WRA?
You know, I just checked on that. I've been on the board since 2009. It seems like just the other day, but it's been 6 years that I've served on the board.
Lowell, what have you found as a key value of your board membership?
Well, you know, Jim, one of the struggles that I have and others have that are small business owners is that we feel like we have an insignificant voice with our state leaders. And, you know, being a part of this association, the Washington Retail Association, really gives us an opportunity to hear what the issues are. Many times we don't even know what the issues are until the decisions are made, and then it's too late. So by staying current on what's going on and having an association that supports my business the way that it does, it really gives me an opportunity to speak to legislators, to have an organization support me in my business, and really helps me keep current on what's happening.
Now, here in the state capital, one of the largest employers in the region is state government. I'm curious if you yourself do any business with the state of Washington and how that works for you.
Sure. Well, we recently were just awarded with a state add-on furniture contract, and what that means is if they already have the brand of furniture, Hayworth is the brand of furniture that we sell. If an agency has that furniture in their offices, we can sell them furniture to add on to it. And that's been a big boost to our business. However, it's very limited. And the reason why it's limited is there are many offices in the state that do not have Hayworth furniture. And so because of the legislative mandate where state agencies are required by law to purchase their furniture from correctional industries, it makes it very difficult for me as a small business owner, you know, to sell to the biggest customer in my region, and that is the state of Washington.
Mm-hmm. You know, now some companies award Employees of the Month, and your store has the unusual identity, I guess you might say, of having a Chair of the Month prominently displayed in the corner window here. Who thought of that idea, and how does it work from a marketing perspective?
Well, this goes way back into the late 90s. I was trying to find a way to highlight and promote our business. You know, we sit at a very busy intersection here, and people drive by here every day. What can I do to stand out? So I talked with one of the local radio stations, and we came up with an idea of a Chair of the Month. And each month, the disc jockey would sit in the chair and talk about how comfortable it was and all the features. You know, chairs these days are a lot like buying an automobile. Everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different sizes and shapes. And so, you know, one chair doesn't fit everybody. And so this way we can feature some of the chairs with, you know, unique benefits. Like right now, we have a chair that's like a round ball with 4 legs, and it catches the attention of those driving by. And now we are known as the place with the Chair of the Month, and we've heard many stories about that.
Do people actually come in and wind up buying a Chair of the Month just because it kind of worked as a magnet to draw them into the store?
You know, they do, but that's not really why I came up with the idea. The idea was to be talked about in town and to be known as the place of the Chair of the Month. And there's even been times where I've been explaining where my business is, and right in the middle of my conversation, they'll say, "Oh, you're the place with the Chair of the Month." And that's exactly why we came up with this.
Now, as board chair, you got a chance to meet with the Governor Inslee personally as a WRA representative. curious what you talked about and what the governor's response was to what you had in mind to tell him.
Well, first of all, I was delighted to hear that the governor would take the time to listen to me as a small business owner and as a representative of the Washington Retail Association to really hear what my concerns, were, and to ask ideas about things. And we were supposed to have a 30-minute meeting together. As it turned out, it was well over an hour. And he really did seem interested to what we talked about. We talked about, the topic of raising the minimum wage and the impact that that would have on business, especially small business, and especially in rural areas, the difference that it would make on how many people we employ and whether or not we hire people, how it would affect the teenager looking to find a job. And would we hire somebody older with more experience and rather than hiring that teenager? And what effect does that have on our, youth finding work? So we talked about that quite a bit. We also talked about the McCleary decision and the funding of education here in the state of Washington and, what effects that might have in our community. And Jim, I'm very much in support of our education system. It is the future of, the workers, which, even today, it's hard to find good quality workers anymore. And so making sure that everyone gets a good quality education is so vitally important. How we fund it and how we support this McCleary decision can be discussed at great length. And so we talked about that a little bit and how to address that. So the other thing we talked about was the growth up in the city of Seattle is phenomenal right now. There's just a lot going on. If you drive by, you see all the cranes of new buildings going in. And he asked me, that growth is happening in Seattle, but not throughout the rest of the state of Washington. There are many communities that are still really struggling. And, just recently we heard of communities are losing their aluminum plants, their smelters are closing down. And if you stop and think about the impact that those will have on communities, and my main caution to the governor was, you've got to think about these communities and how is the small business going to survive when big events like this happen. And the things and decisions that are made that affect small businesses, like minimum wage, like increased taxes. We have a B&O tax that the businesses have to pay. Whether you're making money or not, you still have to pay that tax. And unlike a sales tax, that doesn't get passed on to the consumer. So all those things come into play. And my hope is through that meeting with the governor, he understood my concerns and would take those into an account as he's looking to make decisions in the future.
Now, on another front, Lowell, you're past president of the Lacey Chamber of Commerce here near Olympia. I'm curious if you can give us an idea of maybe a key issue or two you may have confronted in that role and how it was worked out.
Certainly. Well, being a part of the Chamber of Commerce, and I've been a part of both the Lacey Chamber of Commerce as the board president and board chair, it's important, again, for us to be involved in the community, to have a voice. And as much as we can get involved, it does a number of things. It allows you to keep, again, on what's current, what's going on, to meet other businesses and hear what their struggles are and what are they dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And so by being a part of those other organizations, it really helps me as a board member with the Washington Retail Association to have a broader picture of what's affecting business out in the community.
Okay. Where else do you volunteer your time? This role with us is volunteer work. Where else do you volunteer your services?
I do serve on the foundation board of BHR, Behavioral Health Resources. That's our community mental health. And I've been a part of that organization for 7 years now, and they're doing wonderful things in the community to help those with dealing with mental illness and drug and alcohol addiction. I also serve on the Lacey Fire District 3 Citizens Advisory Committee as the vice chair, and we come alongside our commissioners there and give input from a citizen's perspective on the things that we're concerned with and ways that the fire district can run in a more efficient and just better serve the clients and people of the community. I also serve on the Coastal Business Services Board. We're a for-profit arm of Morningside, which is an organization that works with people with disabilities, and so I've been serving on that board for about 8 years as well. And I'm also a part of Rotary.
So running a small business and volunteering that much, I'm curious, do you have any time to spend any time recreating at all? And if so, how do you do it?
Well,
how do you relax?
All of this is considered recreation, of course. And anything I can do, I love golf. I love to get out and play golf. I love to water ski, although here in the later years, haven't been able to do as much of that. But getting out and spending time with friends and family is so vitally important, as it is in the business community as well.
Well, where else, to wrap this up, where else can people learn a little more about the Creative Office?
Well, you can definitely go to our website at thecreativeoffice.com, and that kind of gives you an idea of the products that we sell and the services that we provide. We're the place with the chair of the month on the corner of Legion and Plum, so we're easy to find, and we'd love to have people stop into our business here and see what we can provide for them.
Well, Lowell, thanks for being our guest today. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to thank our viewers for watching this and invite you to take a look around the Retail Association website at retailassociation.org to see other videos as well. Thanks for watching.